men's nipples can produce milk? Yes, surprisingly, the answer is true.
Some men are capable of producing milk if their hormones contain too much oestrogen, apparently. Breast tissue in men can grow and cause them to lactate. Gynecomastia, it's called, and it's most commonly seen in adolescence. Anyway, the question is, are all love buttons the same? Yasmin, Terry and Nadia's thoughts in a sec. Yours are welcome on the usual number. I'm being serious about it. 0207 173 5555 is the number. And I'm only asking really because when I showed mine yesterday at the behest of the brilliant Times journalist Caitlin Moran, there we go, it caused a lot of giggles. But that made me wonder, Nadia, how different things would have been if Yasmin had got her yayas out or Kirsty. Why the laughter? Because they're essentially the same, right? Sadly, we'll never know what Caitlin thought about mine because she popped away from the telly to have a fag and missed it. But why do we react differently to women's nipples than men? Is it the suckling thing? In the past, we've had a woman thrown... In this last week, actually, we've had a woman thrown off a bus for breastfeeding, another nursing mum sprayed with air freshener to drive her out of a shop.
A charity shop.
A charity shop. Yeah. And I'm wondering whether it's maybe the nipple, the size of the breast thing. Women's love buttons normally attached to a bit more flesh than fellas. I'm saying normally, you should see some of my friends. Why do we treat men's nipples differently from women's? You're keen to get involved, Nadia. Why?
Well, for a start, I think we should see a lot... Would the show have been able to go on today if Yasmin had got her boobies out?
Yeah,
would it have been cancelled?
I guess so, because we'd have a lot of explain. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. If it was medical reasons, yeah.
If I'd breastfed my baby on...
Yeah, that would have been fine.
I mean, it would have been all right. Are you sure?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think so.
See, I think we need to see more and more and more and more and more women's nipples.
Really?
Yes. Oh, the boys agree. Look at him. I had real problems breastfeeding. I went through torture. And I think an awful lot of that was because we don't see women breastfeeding. So all I'd ever seen were the books where a woman sits, places her baby on her perfect breast, whose nipple goes up that way. My nipples do not go up that way, you know. And so I kept trying to feed my baby in the way that I'd seen the books, because it's so banned here. I mean, it's just... I mean, somebody was saying the other day, oh, it's so disgusting. She was saying to sister, it's so disgusting that you're going to feed the baby on the plane. And she said, but it's OK, I'm going to have a shawl over it. She said, yes, but people will know what you're doing. That was one woman to another woman. Can you believe it?
What about...
people see it as sexual.
Well, is that why, Toby? Because I'm thinking, you know, you can see Tarzan standing there in a loincloth, but you always see Jane covered up. Why? What is the history of that? You know,
I mean, for me, I've got to admit, you know, I was never, like, big in, you know, looking for the old one-handed reading material on the top of the shelf or anything like that. Maybe it's because... And I've never, like, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, I've always fancied women, but I've never been one, you know, even, like, if I've got a certain paper and it's page 3, I won't sit there for ages going...
But why have we, historically, why are women's boobies covered up and men's aren't?
Well, because we're all a bit repressed, aren't we? You know, I'm like you. I think the more the merrier. I don't know what all the fuss is about.
OK, Yasmin...
Cabbage leaves is one of the...
Do you know why? Why you can look at certain tribes, they wander...
I mean, breastfeeding more, less Jordans, please.
Yes.
That would be nice.
She doesn't really get them out, does she?
But, well, almost. But I think there is it's not just... It's the... I do not know, and maybe I'm really old-fashioned, that men's buttons are seen as erotic.
Aren't seen?
They're not, are they?
Would it be wrong if they were?
When we said that in the meeting after the show yesterday, a couple of girls, admittedly one of them is Jemima Agesco, who likes a drink, if you know what I mean. She was on it straight away going, yes, I do.
OK, so then I am very old-fashioned, because I just think they're there.
OK, what about in our audience, Eric? Does anyone know?
Well, indeed. Well, next we've got Julianne. So we're talking about nipples. Nipples. Man's nipples versus women's nipples. I mean, why are they different?
Well, to tell the truth, with men's nipples, no offence to Matthew, when you showed yours yesterday, if they're attached to some pecs, they might have got a bit different reaction.
No offence taken, you just come around and slag me off any time. Right?
But sensationally-wise, they're both the same.
Right.
You know, men can get the same sensation from...
Why do women have cover them up and men don't? You see some primitive tribes, the women don't cover them up. Why have we covered women's up?
I think this is what Nadia said. Women's nipples are seen as sex objects. I mean, our boobs are attracted to men as well as babies. You know, you take off your bra, your babies are going, wow, you know, milk, I'm going to get fed right now. And men are saying exactly the same thing. Wow, I'm going to get fed right now. So our boobs are actually seen as sex objects.
Julianne, you've done, I think, what the panel didn't. You have explained it. And that is all we have time for today and for the week. The good news is the weekend's almost here. The bad news is it's goodbye to these guys. It feels like, Nadia, you've been here for 2 seconds. Best of luck with Stuff Finding You Saved My Life. So fantastic, but lovely to have you here. Great time. I'm over every minute of the MasterChef thing. You too. I've loved your company. So have the people at home. Give it up for our panel, ladies and gentlemen.